ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here, thanks to Yasu-san. As he kindly introduced, I am a Shinto priest at Meiji Jingu, although just wearing a suit and tie like a businessman, and not cool bit yet at my office. And I'm standing at the far end of IT technology in this room, definitely. But one thing I'm saved that I have been using Gmail for long years. Thank you very much. Well, I'm quite nervous today since I have to make a presentation in English, and especially I'm going to talk about Japanese culture and religions. Both fields have a lot of difficult terms to translate, and my English is not good enough to deal with. Yasu-san, you are responsible for helping me, okay? So before starting my presentation, do you know something about Shinto? Anybody? Don't be shy. Yes, please.
I'm Japanese,
So
I know more than 80% of Japanese people sort of practice Shintoism for some form or another. It is to celebrate the royal family for the Amaterasu no Obi.
Wow.
And derives from the Meiji Jingu, that's the main shrine.
That's a good answer, isn't it? Thank you very much. Right. Kamidana, small altar in the house is very common, still common, I suppose. Okay, have you ever been to Meiji Jingu before? Wow, thank you very much for coming. So this is the picture of Meiji Jingu. So you can see Tokyo Metropolitan Government buildings right behind the Meiji Jingu. So this area is called Naien in Japanese, and the inner precinct in English. But where is the outer precinct then? Do you know? The outer precinct in Japanese is Gaien. So you surely know Aoyama Gaien. Ah, yes, it's Gaien. So this is inner precinct, the shrine precinct. And this area is called Gaien, outer precinct. And there is a Meiji Memorial Picture Gallery. And you can see the baseball stadium over there, and National Stadium or Rugby Stadium. A National Stadium and Rugby Stadium are not our property, but the inner precinct and outer precinct are the properties of Meiji Jingu. And Meiji Memorial Picture Gallery is famous for ginkgo trees in autumn. So, please look at this picture. You can see the green belt here. Do you know what this is? This green belt. Yes, omote sando. So omote means the main, and sando means the approach to the shrine. So this street has also an important history, because this street was created at the same time of the creation of Meiji Jingu in 1920. So historical meaning. But as you know, there are a lot of brand shops, right? Well, of course, they are all welcome, but it's just far distant from my life anyway. So you can see the green at the shrine precincts. So this is a picture of the New Year's Day at Meiji Jingu. A lot of people visit. A few million people visit this shrine through a few days or a week of the New Year's Day. This shrine was founded in order to dedicate to the spirits of Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken. However, by the way, there is no relic or dead body or statues of the emperors as being expected at so-called shrine. And do they come to Meiji Jingu to revere the spirits of Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken? Probably no, because they do not know what is enshrined at Meiji Jingu. So here is a statistic. The population of Japan is 125 million. Among them, as she told, about 91 million are claimed as Shinto followers, and almost the same as Buddhists. And for example, the Christians are 3 million. So you laughed because you add two numbers, right? It exceeds the population of Japan. But if you ask any Japanese, what is your religion? The answer most probably is, I have no religion. Many Japanese are nodding, right? Then why do people visit the Shinto shrine in the cold weather of the New Year's Day? That's almost crazy, isn't it? I'd better talk a little bit about the environment of Japan first. The land of Japan is surrounded by the sea, and 70% of the lands are mountainous, and a lot of rivers and lakes and small islands. Thanks to the 4 seasons, from spring, summer, autumn to winter, we receive a lot of blessings, such as fish from the sea or vegetables from the mountains or fields and so forth. That is why we show our gratitude to nature. On the other hand, Japan is also famous for natural disasters like typhoons or tsunami or earthquakes. So we also make prayers not to have these severe natural phenomena while showing our gratitude thanks to nature. Our ancestors might have thought natural disasters were raised because they disturbed the harmony of nature by their living way. Therefore, they try to keep the harmony of nature by finding themselves as a part of nature. Shinto has been formed based on these two minds, grateful and awesome feeling towards nature. We join our hands like this to the sun or to the sea or to the rivers. Those objects are called kami in Shinto, kami of the sun or kami of the sea or kami of the mountains. So monotheistic religions have an omnipotent one God, but Shinto has thousands of God, kami, not God, kami. So there are one or several enshrined kami at each shrine, but none of them seems to be idolized. Instead, people are greeting to various kami or kami in general when they visit the Shinto shrine. So in this sense, it's not that strange even though the visitors do not know what is enshrined at Meiji Jingu. So if we think of religion as a means by which we can find salvation through following God's commandments or living righteously and repenting, it will be difficult to understand the nature of the Shinto faith. Shinto has no founder. Shinto has no founder, holy scriptures, or concept of conversion, so that there is no single accepted definition of Shinto. But let me try to explain my view of Shinto from two aspects, that is, connections with God and connections with societies. As far as my understanding goes, monotheistic religion attaches importance to connections with God because an omnipotent God created this world and mankind can live and under God's protection and can attain peace after death. To stay connected with God, we need to follow God's will strictly. Because of this strictness, deep faith in God is developed, human ethics or religious value are upheld, and happiness and peace are maintained, I think. So there is another aspect of religion, that is connections with societies. When we see someone facing difficulties, we try to help them to overcome their hardships through a variety of methods and actions. I am grateful for the help from the world when the big earthquake happened and tsunami happened 5 years ago. Whether it is love, charity, or mercy, religious values provide people with a clear path towards sharing happiness with each other in the context of social relationships. If connections with God place more emphasis on individual pursuit of peace after death, then connections with societies orient people towards achieving happiness, not only for themselves, but also for the many people in this life. As mentioned before, our ancestors thought that we are surrounded by many kami, even kami of ancestors. This world is filled with kami. You might notice that the concept of kami is quite different from the concept of God. In Shinto, connections with kami and connections with societies are integrated. Shinto believes that people receive blessings from countless kami surrounding them, and in the course of their lives, they receive energy for their own development or societal growth. In Japanese, there is an expression, ikasarete iru. Do you understand the meaning of this? Ikasarete iru. It's quite hard to translate into English, so I'm not sure I'm able to explain this accurately. But let's take an example. Instead of saying, I live by eating rice, we would say, I'm allowed to live by the rice, which assumes the idea that rice is a blessing that we must be thankful for, as the efforts of many people went into its cultivation, based on the magnificent working of the sun, rain, soil, and microorganisms. And furthermore, it was harvested and transported and placed on store shelves. Itadakimasu, the phrase before eating with joining our hands together, has all meanings of thanking feelings of us. So individuals are ikasarete iru through various interactions in the society. It means that individuals also have an effect on these interactions. In my opinion, the reason that Japanese people cherish harmony is because they recognize this interconnectedness consciously or unconsciously. In principle, an individual's happiness equals people's happiness. Many people are mindful to behave in a way that maintains progressive harmony in the context of this interconnectedness. I perceive this as Shinto's sense of religious value. I found an interesting expression in the book, Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. Have you read this book before? No, but you watched the film of the Angels and Demons. Is this old? 天使と悪魔? No? I don't know. No, everybody? Nobody? Yeah, angels and demons. あ、そうですか. Okay, anyway, in that book, there is an interesting phrase. The planet is an organism, and all of us are cells with different purposes, and yet we are intertwined, saving each other, saving the whole. Don't you think this is an interesting expression? So in addition, There is a concept called Jomei Seichoku, meaning pure, bright, honest, and sincere, which is also important value in Shinto. So by maintaining purity and sincere heart, a peaceful and happy social environment will be achieved. Purity means dislike of kegare or uncleanliness. Kegare links to the term meaning dying up of one's life force. In this state, we cannot unleash our potential energy. So please look at this as the potential energy that a newborn baby has, like the sun. However, day by day, impurities approach to it, resulted in weakening its original vitality. So in order to get rid of these impurities, Shinto has purification in many ways. So for example, by bathing water like this, or like this. This is a picture of at Meiji Jingu. We have this misogi, or bathing water, in the cold day of January. And you wash your hands and rinse your mouth before entering the shrine. And at the end of June and at the end of December, we have big purification ceremony like this. The Shinto priest using a wand to cast away the impurities or uncleanliness. So by doing so, we regain the original energy and vitality to live. So Japanese people's love of bathing are also one of example, I think. Here again, I quote a phrase from Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. So God, Buddha, the force, Yahweh, the singularity or the unicity point, call it whatever you like. The result is the same. Science and religion support the same truth. Pure energy is the father of creation. I think this is also interesting. So to restore individuals' vivid state, the support from society as well as the efforts of the individuals become important. So Shinto rituals, matsuri, may play roles to foster this vitality. Have you joined any matsuri before? Some of them, right? So people are very crazy for joining matsuri like this, or this one too. A lot of people are watching too. And by ladies, this is our odori at the Shikoku Islands, Tokushima Prefecture. And even the children are also involved in these matsuri. They look very vivid, I think. So beside these big ritual ceremonies, small rituals or customs can be seen in our life cycle events, like bringing a newborn baby to a Shinto shrine, or 7, 5, 3 years children's rite like this, and coming of age day. So these are important opportunities for us to clean up ourselves or to show our gratitude for the growth and to feel we are living in the community of this world. Personal happiness, society's happiness, is to evolve the existing harmony into a more progressive harmony. If I can say, our mission in this life will leave behind an even better or more harmonious world for future generations, while inheriting the harmonious world our ancestors have created. Many Japanese people live by sensing the horizontal connections with societies, coupled with the vertical connections with life. I mean, connections with past, and future. Here is a question, however. Is this only limited to Shinto or Japanese? What I have mentioned is just the idea of consideration for other people. I believe this is a universal value that cuts across all religions or all over the world. Nowadays, a lot of foreigners visit Meiji Jingu. Actually, weekdays, well, almost foreigners, I can see. So they come to Meiji Jingu where there's nothing such as Buddhist statues or sacred relics or national treasures to see. But the visitors seem to feel refreshed and regain their energy for further growth. And I am always moved when I see votive tablets hung around the comfort trees here in front of the shrine building. So look at this. You cannot figure out which language is written, but you can see Thai or English, French, Chinese, or Germany. So there are many languages are written. And look at this. I am grateful for all the love and gifts with which I have been blessed since my life began. I now ask for strength and support to overcome the health challenges before me, for full and complete recovery, and for health and happiness for myself and the family who I love. It's a beautiful prayers. One more thing. With appreciation and gratitude for all of my many blessings, family and health and business success, and the many wonderful people in my life, please guide me to continue to appreciate these gifts and share my good fortune and plenty with others in this world. The world is full of infinite possibilities. So it's a really nice word. And then they naturally express their gratitude to many things and extend their warm hearts to others. So thank you very much for your attention. This is my short presentation.